Hey, dear Tyler, good morning and happy new month. Yes, we made it into the month of September. We've got 4 more months to the end of the year. And congratulations, for entering into this month. Here in Africa, we've entered into the Ember period, the Ember month. The Ember month, we have to be more prayerful, we have to be more spiritual, more discerning. And yes, but let's also be more conscious of God's love. He who started a good work will be faithful to complete it, irrespective of the month, right? So I know that usually these months are characterized by quite a lot of funny things, but we have a God that loves us, a God that cares for us, and we have a covering of his blood in our lives. So we'll be fine, right? So I'm very, very excited that I get to start the month with us, right? We get to start the month with Dear Tyler, a Dear Tyler episode that is going to be very exciting. It's going to be very cool. Right, so welcome again to the month of September. We've got a lot of things, packaged for us this month, right? Some amazing topics. And in this month, we're going to be outlining quite a lot of the things that would constitute the next phase of Dear Tyler. A lot of it may be initiated next year, but I'll be intimating us on a lot of the things within the month, right? So stay tuned for it. And then also remember the last episode that we had on Monday. I requested for, stories for those that have lost loved ones and would want to share the story behind it and how God had helped them through the whole pain process, right? So please still reach out to me. And if you're still interested in being part of the Dear Tyler community, why not reach out to me on Instagram, right, at dear_Tyler, or you could send me a mail, deartyler@gmail.com, or Facebook. You could check out the Dear Tyler page, send a message there, and I would respond. If you have my personal contact, I would also respond to that, right? So thank you once again for being here, and I hope that the week so far has been good. So today's topic is shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. For us here in Nigeria, it's like a slogan for, go after what. Okay, usually it's used for a slogan, especially if a guy likes a lady. It's like, okay, now just shoot your shot now. Just try it out and see how far. So what inspired this particular episode for me is, please, right? Please and please. People should not look at me in any way, right? Please don't look at me in a funny way. So sometime last year, we started we started Koinonia. That's the biggest clue that I would give you. We started Koinonia. And somehow we're quite a number of people in the ministry, workers, members, with quite a lot. So within that period, you get to meet people, find people, no, this is fine. And there was this particular person that is like, oh my God, very fine. And in my mind, I was just like, oh my God, see how fine this lady is. I found out her department. I'm not going to tell you the department because I know Koinonia members listen. So I found out her department and I was like, okay, let's see, let's start laying the groundwork for some things. Alas, some days as Bingan now decided to slack and be in preparation mode. I was just going through my status and I saw, hey, congratulations on your engagement. I'm like, what? And I went through the pictures and I was like, this is the person I wanted to talk to now. Person has been engaged. Mama was wearing one very nice diamond ring. And in my mind, I'm like, hey, lost opportunity. And you know, the funny thing is that throughout the period that I had known her, I'd never said hi, I'd never even greeted, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so I just looked at it and, you know, it just made me laugh. I was like, just imagine, guy. Now, like, you're pumping up yourself, you know, you're gingering, trying to get ready for when you're going to talk and, you know, begin to set the wheels, and another person had just gone ahead and done it. It was quite hilarious. It was heartbreaking to an extent, but then it was also hilarious. I was like, just see me, imagine me now, all in my room fantasizing about how I'm building my family with somebody that is already engaged while I am dreaming somebody's taking action. It's crazy. Now, I think it was last month or so, there was this picture that was circulating around. I don't know if it was staged, I don't know if it was true, but then a guy was proposing to a lady, and then it looked like somebody else on the stage was like shocked, like, what's going on? And it's like, Mama said yes, and the guy just somehow like fainted, or he slumped onto somebody else. And, you know, people were like, as you are doing portals and dimensions, somebody else is shooting their shot. If you like someone, shoot your shot. If you like someone, shoot your shot. Yeah, you know, some of us have this tendency to be over cautious about certain things. You know, now I'm not even saying this from the standpoint of somebody that has even learned his lesson per se. I can be particularly cautious, overly cautious. I don't like unpreparedness, so I want to be prepared for like as many contingencies as possible. But you know, the worst response you would ever get from trying to shoot your shot with the lady is no. That's the worst. You know the funny thing? You'd never get a yes until you ask. You never get a yes until you ask. So see me now. Young, eligible, fine boy. Missed out on an opportunity. If you listen to my podcast, The Diary of a Very Shy Boy, it's like a little bit similar, right? Because in The Diary of a Very Shy Boy, I spoke about how I liked someone, but because I didn't feel it was a mutual thing, I just let it slide. And then later on, the person was like, I was waiting for you to talk. Imagine the beautiful story we could have made, but now I've moved on. But the real reason, right, behind me sharing this story and the topic has nothing to do with relationships. It's just that relationships can be included. And because it's a slogan that is generally used here in Africa, Nigeria particularly, right? So I felt like it would be good to coin up things. Some years ago, when Uber started, I'm the kind of person that I love to do research. So if I find out about new companies, I listen to them, I watch them, and I follow them. And some years ago, I've heard about, you know, when the whole Uber thing came up, it was on CNN. I think they had a challenge with the yellow cab drivers in New York because they were like taking a whole lot of their market, and their pricing was a lot different. So the pricing of Uber, Bolt, Taxify is a lot different. They calculate your distance and the proposed time, some other factors, give bonuses, right? But then for the taxi or the yellow cab drivers in New York, basically, the challenge is that you pay per time. So the amount of time that you spend really determines the pricing for your journey. So if peradventure you encounter traffic at a certain location, you would spend more your bill is going to rise. Now they came up with a technology through Uber, you know, integrated it with Google Maps and the whole Google traffic system to find easier routes. Do you understand? So you may spend a little bit more time, but then from the regular, but then you're going to avoid traffic. Then you've got the comfort, you know, just quite a lot of things aesthetically. And I was way back in Bauchi then. I was like, okay, wow, this is like a very good idea. And I was like, okay, just think about it. In Nigeria, we have a whole lot of bikes. Now imagine, because there are times that you could stay out late and then you're looking for a bike to climb and all to get to your destination, or you're looking for all of these keke napeps. And keke napep is tricycle, right? So, and I was like, okay, so why not? It would be very good, if we come up with an idea to do it for bike men, right? Because since majority of us, especially in the university system, use bikes, why not do it for bike men? I was like, it's not going to work, until I heard in Lagos that they started Go-Kada. Even though now it's not functional because they've banned the use of bikes in certain locations in Lagos, and the whole company had to wrap up. Even Opay started it in Zaria too. But I just looked at it and I was like, okay, I had this idea and somebody else executed it. Now, within the period that it was functioning, they had a lot of revenue. They made a lot of money and it helped a lot of people. I remember hearing the story of a lady, or rather I watched it, they're part of the protesters when they were banning the use of motorcycles, like commercial motorcycles in Lagos. She was like, she uses it to take care of her family. She's taking her siblings to school. Like, imagine, because of a bike business, you're able to take or cater for the needs of your siblings in the university. Now that's like really, really major. It's really, really large. Now, I could have come up with the idea and found, the necessary people, especially up north. Like, we use bikes madly up here in the north in Nigeria. It could have worked even for that period of time. I'll be able to, raise capital, do it. Or it doesn't mean that the bikes should have even been banned. Only God knows the amount of favors I could have received with government officials, come up with a proper structure. And then just imagine people having that. But my silence on an idea made me lose out on it. Now, the fact that you are thinking of something doesn't mean that you're the only one with that thought. It doesn't mean you're the only one with that thought. I remember back in Bauchi, there was this song that I taught my crew. I had a music crew that I would soon revive called Soul Essence. And I taught them this song, Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Now, I felt like it was very peculiar, it's a new song. I'm the kind of person that really enjoys coming up with new songs, new stuff, creativity. It's part of my personal. Now, when I got to Zaria, I went back to Zaria for something, I heard them singing the song, God Life Assembly, but it was like a little bit faster, fast paced and everything. And I was like, okay, but this is my song. And then right there, God told me that, guy, because I drop ideas for everybody. It's about those who pick up the signals and then use the ideas that I drop. Have you ever been part of a gathering, maybe church gathering, and then the preacher is saying something, and the preacher is like, God shared to me a very powerful revelation, and you're just sitting down, and then the person says something that God must have told you maybe moments back, years ago, months ago, and it's like, so what's this? And the person is so elated by it, like, this is so powerful, and you're like, okay, but this is something that God shared with me. You've not told anybody, right? It was a very personal encounter. Now that just shows that these things are not, they are not reserved to individuals. Ideas are not reserved to individuals. Revelation is not reserved to individuals, right? I sat down fantasizing about someone while another person took action. Let me tell you, you could see the picture, what do you call it? the cover art, right, for this particular episode, the basketball players, right, and somebody's trying to take a shot. The worst that could happen, right, is that you would miss your shot. But do you know that you miss every shot you never take? Every shot not taken is already missed. And that's how opportunities work. Every shot that you do not take is already a missed shot. If the fear of missing a shot stops you from taking a shot, it's the same thing as missing that shot. We never really know the possibility of what could happen until we actually take action on a whole lot of things. Now, that's something that we have to be very, very open and aware of. You won't know if the person likes you until you tell them or you ask them. Like, what we usually fear, right, is the worst case scenario. And it will usually happen, right? A no is almost like you not even meeting the person. Probably the only difference is that you may not be personally stung, that rejection thing. But if you desire to be with someone, be with the person, try to shoot your shot and all. And that's what I'm basically trying to say. There are opportunities that would have. Share another story. So I am building up on my confidence on a whole lot of things. For people that know me a lot, I tell them this, and I mean it. I do not consider myself a singer, right? I do understand music. I can help people musically, but I do not consider myself a singer. And sadly, what that has done for me is that anything that should help me improve in my singing, I basically do not do. I may be aware of it, but then I do not necessarily engage myself in that activity to become a better singer because I do not consider myself as a good singer. The same thing with my guitar playing. Most times when I meet people, have discussions about music, and they're like, I've been going to play guitar very well. I'm like, I don't even consider myself a very good guitarist. I find out that in hindsight, I do not do the things that would make me a better guitar player, right? Now, something happened. I just finished rehearsal. I was on my way home late at night. I think rain had already flogged the living daylight out of me. And somebody just, put across a call. And I was like, hey, Binga, I have this opportunity for you. I have this opportunity to go do some video shoot somewhere. But I'm not available, and you are the next best person that I could think of. Would you want to do it? I was like, okay, when is it? The person was like, it's tomorrow. Now, I told the person, no, I have things to do. Not because I really had things to do, but then I began to doubt myself. I was like, I don't think I'm capable of it. And while I was in the car going back, I said, okay, no problem, it's fine. While I was in the car heading back home, God was like, but do you know how many times you've prayed for such opportunities, Binga? And I was like, yeah. I was like, so why? Are you really afraid that they would not like you or they won't like your music or something? I was like, the worst that would happen is that they would say you're not our type. But you'd never know the possibility of the open doors you would get. And so I was like, okay, Lord, please help me not to miss out on this opportunity. And then I quickly, when I got home, I now messaged him and I was like, is the opportunity still available? I think I can make it. I was like, yeah. And then I went there, I met people. It was like a very good, it was a very, very lovely experience. And then the person was like, talking to the producer, I was like, no, the guests that you brought in today are really, really different. They're really good. And after that, the producer met me, was like, can we call you for some other things? And I was like, okay, yeah, whenever you're ready. And then the producer was like, okay, sure. Once the time is set that they'll give me a call. Now, I would have never, ever gotten to know that I had that good media stuff if I didn't try it out. I had this other opportunity to a Christian reality TV show, The Father's House. You know, they just asked me to come for a little like interview kind of, and through my conversations with them, they're like, would you want to be a host? And I was like, okay, yeah, let's try. And so one of the times when I was hosting the show and everything, like some of my church members from Bauchi called. They even put it on their WhatsApp group. Brother Binga is online. He's on WAP TV right now, and I was just able to, take the opportunity. It was my first time. I'm not really so much of a media personnel like that. But then I found out that, okay, I do have those tendencies. I can work and I can be good at all of those things. So I was like, okay, wow, that's epic. But I wouldn't have known this side of me if I didn't try it. And I know that if an opportunity again comes, those producers will be like, okay, now this guy is a very good person and we'll give him that opportunity, right? I could have declined because I felt very unprepared. I felt very incapable. Do you understand? I felt maybe inadequate and I could have missed out on that opportunity. So what are some of those opportunities that we have missed out of, Tyler, because we've been afraid to shoot our shot? Either the ball goes into the net or it misses. Those are the only two outcomes. Nothing else can happen again. You tried the business, either you succeed, either you fail. You try to be in a relationship with someone, either the person gives you a yes or the person gives you a no. You want to try out something new, either it works, it doesn't work. Those are the only two outcomes. But you would never know the possibility of things working if you do not shoot your shot. You would never know the potential that is lying inside of you, Tyler, if you do not shoot your shot. You never know if the girl likes you if you don't shoot your shot. Like, I've heard a lot of stories, right, from ladies that they've liked this guy for so long, and then the guy finally shoots his shot with them, and then they just do that. They just put up that whole facade at the instant, just so that they're not cheap and all. But then when they come home, they're like, oh my God, finally Baba has asked me out and something like that. Yeah, and so I'm kind of surprised. I've liked the guy now since I was just waiting for the guy to say something. So imagine what could happen if you really do try. Do you know failure can disguise itself can be a blessing rather to a whole lot of us? And why am I saying this? It's because when you fail, you learn. A business, a venture, an event or something, an activity, you tried out something, you learn. You find out more about certain things. And it helps you to, prepare for, life. So let's take, for instance, that you ask somebody out and the person said no. At least you can go in peace, knowing that this person does not like you in that manner. And it's perfectly fine. You could feel pain, but at least you'll not be living in uncertainty. There's just this clarity that this person doesn't like me. And it helps you to move on. It helps you to be more, focused, more in tune with things that are going on. Do you understand? So those are some of the things that failure can actually bring to our side. And because it didn't work out, it doesn't mean that it was a failed project, no. But like I said, because you learn, you're able to figure out, okay, let me do this better. And the next time you launch out, you're launching out with new knowledge, new understanding, and a new confidence. But why not wrap up this episode with, who is that lady that you like, Tyler? Who is that person that sums up in total your reality of happily ever after? Who is that person that you want to build your future with? You want them to give birth to your children. Honestly, shoot your shot. If you feel ready, why not shoot your shot? Whatever makes you feel unprepared, trust God for it, but then make sure that you shoot your shot, right? Shoot your shot and see what happens, right? So revive those dreams, right? Those things that you feel are opportunities, try them out. Yours may be peculiar, yours may be different. Yours may be the one that the Lord has really blessed to prosper. Shoot your shot and see how it goes, right? So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, right? Please share with people. Don't stop sharing, right? And I'd always love to hear your feedback. So this is me signing out, Tyler. Remember that I love you, I believe in you, and I'm always rooting for you. And don't forget, shoot your shot.